So now it's time to do activity 2. This requires you to have downloaded that Clippy research paper incomplete document that is in your lab folder. So you'll want to download that. Go ahead and put it in your OneDrive. That way it will be auto-saving and we won't have to worry about losing work. And let's go ahead and get started. So I got my instructions here. Okay. And let's open this document. Okay, so we're basically just going to be finishing up this APA style research paper as a way of learning the useful kind of citation tools and just the tools that I think are most useful to students for like just writing research papers. So here we are. Let's do a quick scroll through. Document looks pretty good altogether, except we're missing some sources. We're missing our references page, our title and abstract. These need to be on new pages, little things. So we're going to be cleaning this up. So before we go any further, let's go ahead and go up here and title it like it says here. So I'm going to click the title bar. I'm going to name it, well, I lost it now. Research paper underscore my name. Oops. Hit the enter key. And now if I open my OneDrive folder where it's at, I can see that indeed it's been updated. And presumably it's syncing to OneDrive. Okay. So now we're going to insert what are called next page breaks. Now there's one on the insert tab that people use a lot. Go to insert. Word froze on me for a bit. And they'll do that. The problem with that is that you'll see when we create headers later where we have like the title that appears kind of at the top on every page and a page number, that you can't separate out the header from these first couple pages when you use that page break. If you don't know what I'm talking about, good. You don't need to. Go to breaks, and under section breaks here, that's the important part, is that we have to go to the layout tab. And just to clarify, I'm clicking right in front of the A. So I'm going to put my insertion point right before that A, and I'm going to go to layout breaks and click next page. So that just pushed the abstract paragraph down to its own page. And watch this. If I go to the home tab and I turn on this little show hide paragraph button, watch this. Now I can see where that section break is in the page. And so if you ever need to delete one of these, it's kind of hard to see like what do I need to delete without this on. So you can toggle that on, and then you can see, oh, if I kind of like, it is really hard to actually select that. Maybe I have to select from here. Yeah, you have to like kind of left click before the A and drag up so you can highlight over that, so that then you can hit the backspace key if you wanted to delete that. So that's just a tip for you, because I used to find that stuff really frustrating before I figured out this little show hide paragraph tool. Okay, so now we've got that one done. Now we're going to do the same thing just on in front of this introduction paragraph. So again, abstract should also be on its own page. So we're going to go to layout, breaks, and we're going to make this a next page section break. Okay, and there it is right there. And this is how your lab instructors can also check if you did that. They can turn this on and they can see, oh yeah, they did it. Okay, so got that done. Now, scrolling through this, some of the citations I have already done for you. And so if I go to this references tab, and look at this thing, manage sources, you'll see, I actually have already done those. Okay, so clearly I need to delete those out so we can do them together. But you'll already see 2 sources in there. We're going to be adding the 2 that are missing. All right. I'm going to zoom this. You can press Ctrl and scroll to kind of zoom. So here's one right here. And this one is actually in the text 3 different times. Well, how can you know that without having to actually just manually hunt for it? On the Home tab, you have this little Find option. I get to it by simply pressing Ctrl+F. So let's select over this. Press Ctrl+F. Oops. Pasted something in there. That's okay, I'll just type it. So I'm going to type insert Upton-Clark in all caps. And now, and that's a left brace in the front. And now, if I hit the enter key, or if I just click these, I can see exactly where it is each time. Okay, so this is where we need to add our first source here. So let's go ahead and do that. So let me press Ctrl+F again. Let's go back to the first one. Okay. And I'm going to just go ahead and select all this. Oops, I deleted the word character, period. And I'm going to put my cursor right here. Now I'm going to go to the References tab, click Manage Sources. And this is a really nice thing that as long as your professors are okay with you using APA 6 and not APA 7, which is the newest one, which my professors, they did not care. They were just glad I was doing citations right. This is a great tool, and you'll see why. So I'm going to click New. We're going to make sure that it's set to website. And author is Eve Upton-Clark. I am not going to type this full title. I'm going to copy this. Ctrl+C and paste it. Name of the website, Fast Company, year 2025. Month is August. And we're going to type out the word August for APA. Tab, the date was the 19th. And then we need to put our URL. Oh, that's hyperlinked. Okay. Well, there we go. Let me just hit the back arrow on that. Probably could right click and click copy link. Yeah, that works. Ctrl+V. All right, so let's do a quick once over. That looks good. We'll click OK. And we have just added our first source to the manager. We haven't inserted it yet. So I'm going to click Close. And then all I have to do to insert it is click on this. Boom, look at that. So now I need to find the other 2 places where I need this. And let's see if we can select this full thing. Let me go back to the first one. Oops. Let's do the closing bracket or brace and go up. And let's go to insert. Not insert. I get that one mixed up. References. Insert citation. And this one. And then the last time we have to go to insert citation and this one. And now, if I search this string, enter, it's not finding it anywhere. That means we've taken care of that citation everywhere we needed to. Good, so we've done the first one. The good thing about this is, let's say I forgot an author or I misspelled their name. Well, I go to References, Manage, Edit. Let's say it was just Clark. Click yes, and it updates it everywhere. Isn't that awesome? So that's why I love the Citation Manager. And I need to actually fix this bag. Okay. So now the second source has multiple authors, and it comes from a journal, because I wanted you to practice with me doing this in something you'll see a lot, which is you have a journal and you have multiple authors, you have some different stuff you have to insert. So I just copied this part and I'm going to paste it in this search, which you can get to by pressing Ctrl+F. And it's just here once. So all I'm going to have to do is replace this one. So when I click on this, it selects it. And we're going to go to Manage Sources and do that whole thing again. New source. This time it's going to be Journal Article. And we're going to have to click Edit to get this different dialog for entering multiple authors. So now I notice it changed. It's not first last, it's last first. So that means Soon Yi. I don't know if I'm pronouncing these names right. Then we have, let's see, why is it not letting me add? If it kind of grays out the boxes that won't let you add, just click OK, and then we can edit and add additional authors. Then we want to add let's see, that's a last name, Li Hui. Again, sorry if I'm botching the pronunciation. And we add that. And lastly, we'll add Ling. Add. And typically the order that you enter the names, it's going to be the order that the names appear on the paper that you're accessing or reading, right? Because usually that order is important, especially the first author. They're usually kind of like the most important author, right? So we'll click OK. And then academic papers always have lengthy titles to them. Trying to be very specific. So we'll copy and paste that. And now here's where we're going to need, well, I can type this, electronic markets. Here's where we're going to need to show some additional fields. So I have to check this box down here. And now I can see those other fields I need, like the year and the journal volume. So month we don't need, year we need to enter 2022. Volume was volume 32 of this journal. And the issue was issue 1. And this article is on pages 17 to 39. And then lastly, we have to copy the DOI. What is a DOI? It's like an authoritative kind of permanent link to the source. How did I access a Springer source? So we'll copy that hyperlink. And DOI is at the very bottom here. Paste it down there. Look this over. Looks good. We'll click OK. And there we have it. So now I've got that in there. We'll click Close. And now where this is selected, you can just click here. So that's selected. I'll go to References, Insert Citation, and find the Soon source. Perfect. Look at that. So quick tip for you. I was looking at this, like, I don't have access to Springer stuff. And I will deny having told you about this if you mention me. But if you do a search of let's see, I think it's like this. Yeah. There are usually a few different of these links. If one of them doesn't work, they have a few different sites. But with some of these papers, you paste the DOI in here, click open, and look at that. That's the full paper, y'all. That's the whole thing. Yeah. There you have it. I didn't show you that. Doesn't always work, but when it does, man, it's great. Okay, so now we have our sources there. Let's pull up the instructions and get back to spot. So we've done all this. Good. And now it's time to add some page numbers to this thing. So it says we're going to scroll to the third page. That's the page with our intro paragraph on it. And we are going to go to insert here. And kind of middle right area is the header footer group. And this is where we have a page number option. We're going to choose top of page and then choose plain number 3. That's the one that appears on the right side. And look at that. And then we're just going to click close header and footer. And the reason I did those breaks, okay, I'm going to have to add one little thing to the instructions that I missed here, is so we can actually get rid of those numbers on the first couple of pages there. So how am I going to do that? I am going to click this. So you double click, go to the intro page, double click up here at the top. That's going to open your header for you. You're going to click link to previous. Where it's selected now, it's going to deselect it. So it unlinked it. And then you can close this header. And then we can go up here and we can delete everything there and click close. And so by unlinking them, what I've done is I've made it so that the headers on the first 2 pages are now unlinked from the pages where the actual sort of report is, right? Because normally we don't really want page numbers on these 2. We want it to start where our report starts, okay? So that's how we can do that. So now we got our page number, and now we are just going to add the title on here. So our title of our paper is this long thing here. Let's copy this. And we're going to come down here, double click. Again, I'm on the introduction page. I'm going to click and put my cursor right before that 1. And I'm going to paste with, I'm going to merge the formatting so it's not huge. And it put that on a new line. So where my 1 is, I'm going to hit the backspace key until that's back on the same line. And this is bolded. I need to unbold this. And I want this left aligned and I want the number on the right hand side. So I'm going to click in between the title and the page number. And I'm just going to hit the tab key once. If you hit it twice, it goes to a new line. So just once is enough. And then if we click off of this, double click somewhere outside of the header, it will close it. Or when our header is open, we go header footer and we can click close here. So look at that. Now we have that on every page. Scroll to the end. Looks good so far. Okay, so now that we've done that, it's time to insert our references. So we're just about done with this darn thing. We got references and the table of contents to do. Let's see. I should have already done a section breakdown here, but it looks like maybe I forgot. So let's go to insert. I think I have a page break here. Yeah, maybe after I've recorded this video, I will have already put a section break for you here. Because I meant to, but let's do another next page. And then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna double click in this header and just delete this stuff. Don't need it on a reference page. Because that's not in the instructions, if you leave it in, that's technically not what you want to do for an APA report, but it's no big deal. Don't worry about it because that's just extra steps you have to think about. I just didn't want it on my page. Okay, so now all we're going to do is we're going to go to the References tab. We're going to go to Bibliography down here. And we're going to choose the one that says references. The one that says works cited, I think that is MLA or I don't remember which one uses bibliography, Chicago style. And we're going to use this one, references. And look at that. It just inserts them all. They're already alphabetized. They already have this special indent called hanging indent. It's already perfect, right? And then I can just delete this little placeholder. And that's it. Brilliant. Okay. And now all we have to do is put down our table of contents. So it says we're going to move to the beginning of the document, which you can press the Control key and your home button, not a button that gets a lot of action, or a key rather. And then place cursor after the title and author information, but before the introduction. After the title and author information, but before the introduction. Oh, we've created a new tab. I'll clarify those instructions. I'm going to say after the date. So I'm going to say press the enter key after the date is what I'm going to change that to. And then we are going to go to references, table of contents on the left here, and then just click that first one, automatic table 1. Look at that. There we go. Since this has broken onto a new page, I'm going to see if I can just hit the backspace and get that on one page. Perfect. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Yeah, and that looks pretty good. So the reason, although that's not Times New Roman, I don't really like that. That would be a matter of, to fix that, we could go to design, fonts, customize, and do something like Times New Roman. Times New Roman. Call this our APA report style. Save. And look at that. Now it just changed to Times. Anyway, I'm not going to dock you for that, but it just bothered me. I was like, ew, no. And a little after paragraph. There we go. Sorry. I'm a control freak. Word will generate table of contents. Good, we did that. Now the reason it's able to do this is because these are heading styles. So by default, Word's default heading 1 style. Look at this. If I press Control N, make a new document, this is a heading. It looks like this. That's not APA, but look what I can do. I can make that times font. I can make that size 12. And for a heading 1 in APA 6, I think you bold it and you center it. Check Purdue OWL if there's any question. Purdue OWL is the place to be. And it's not going to be colored in any way. So that's an APA heading 1 style. So then I could right click this, say update to match selection. And then every time I want to use that, boom, kind of like what we were doing with our resume. And so that means that you can create your own like APA templates or whatever, your own personal report style template, whatever. But these heading styles are important because these are what create the navigation for us, which means if I go to view and check navigation pane and go to headings, or press Ctrl+F and go to headings, it's not enough to just select some text and bold it and let's see, Ctrl+C, center. I don't know how to center it. And center it. That looks the same, but because that's not one of these styles up here, it's not going to get imported into the navigation, which means that it's not going to be pulled into your table of contents. And you're not going to be able to browse nicely through different sections. So that's why it's important to actually use those styles and understand what they do for you. The heading 1 and 2, and even 3 styles. I don't use heading 3 much, but it's there. They actually do serve a purpose. So now we are done, except we need to do a little spelling and grammar check. So we're going to go to review. Review tab, there it is. Click spelling and grammar. And we're going to ignore all of these where it says Clippies. Clippy is a noun. Apostrophe for ownership. So that's correct. It just doesn't know Clippy. It's not cool like that, which is ridiculous because this is Windows, but we could even add this to our dictionary. But I'm going to click ignore all. Clip it. I'm going to ignore all there. Clippy. We're going to ignore once there because it doesn't like that. It's not capitalized, I guess, but that's a quote. However, the nostalgic, is that misspelled? We're going to ignore that because it's wrong. Word's wrong sometimes. Whether changing a profile picture leads. Yeah, that's correct. And there we go. And you can see it even will give you suggestions for, here's how you can make things more clear. Remains to be seen. It's not giving me any suggestions. Let's see. Often seems to. That actually is more clear. I like that. Often controls. So anyway, but just run through that. And again, we just want to make all the red underlines go away. Those are the ones that treats as grammar errors. So everything that was like Clippy, whatever, we just basically ignored all those. These blue underlines are suggestions, and they're not always good ones. So don't feel like the blue underlines have to all go away. That's totally fine. So now we are good to go. I hope this has given you a good foundation in Word. I hope you haven't pulled too much hair out following along with me. The point is not for you to have memorized everything to do in Word. There's much more to Word, but that you've learned enough of value that, hey, when you're doing that report, you can come back to this video if you need to brush up on anything, but at least you have a reference point for these things. All right, that's all I got for you guys.